Chapter 2, Section 2 is all about circles, writing equations of circles and graphing circles and looking at graphs and coming up with equations of circles. The first question is to find the center radius form of the equation of the circle described and then graph the circle. The first one, we have the center is 0, 0, and the radius is 9. If you know the coordinates of the center of the circle are h and k, and the radius of the circles r, then you can use this formula, x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared is equal to the radius squared. Since the center we're given is 0, 0, that means our h value is going to be 0, our k value is going to be 0, and the radius value is going to be 9. Plug those into the formula, x minus 0 quantity squared plus y minus 0 quantity squared is equal to 9 squared. When you simplify what's in the parentheses, x minus 0 is simply x. When you square it, you get x squared plus y squared equals 81. Out of all the choices, x squared plus y squared equals 81. For my problem, the choice is C. We can check our answer and then move on to the actual sketching of the circle. We want to look for the circle where the center of the circle is 0, 0 and the radius is 9. The first choice here, it looks like the center is definitely 0, 0, but this only has a radius of 1 block, but that's 2 units. This would be for a circle with center 0, 0 and radius of 2. The second choice here, if we zoom in, the center of the circle is 0, 0, and this does have a radius of 9. So notice that from the center you go to the right 9, you go to the left 9, you go up 9 and down 9, and you get points that are on the circle. So this looks like the correct one. Let's choose B and check our answer. Excellent. Moving on to number 2. A similar problem. We're asked to find the center radius form of the equation of the circle and then graph the circle. In this case, our center is at -2, 1, and the radius is 3. And the standard form for the equation of a circle, center radius form, is x minus h squared plus y minus k quantity squared is equal to the radius squared. We're going to plug in -2 for h, and we're going to plug in 1 for k, and we're going to plug in 3 for r. Simplify this just another step. X minus a -2 is the same thing as x plus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 1 quantity squared is equal to 9. 3 squared is 9. Let's check the choices. We have, let's get this over a little bit, x plus 2 quantity squared plus y minus 1 quantity squared is 1. Let's check A. Fantastic. All right, now we want to find the graph where the center of the circle is -2, 1 and the radius is 3. Looking at the first choice, the center of this circle appears to be +2, +1. So we can rule out this first option altogether. The center is in the wrong space. Let's look at choice B. Oh, let's check it first. The center of this circle looks like 1, 2, -2. It looks like a -2, +1 is the center of the circle. Let's see if the radius is 3. Go over 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3 from all directions. So it appears that choice B is the correct answer. Now if you're making this sketch by hand, what you would do is sketch on the graph paper. You would locate -2, +1 as the center of the circle. And then what I do is I go 3 units in all directions, up, down, right, and left. up, down, right, and left from that center. So for example, I go up 3 units, 1, 2, 3 units, and I put a dot there. Go back to the center, go to the right 3 units, make a dot. Back to the center, go down 3 units, make a dot. And then back to the center, go left 3 units and make a dot. Connect those with a nice little round circle. And we have the graph of x squared. That's the graph of a circle with center -1 and radius of 3. Let's check our answer. And we got that correct as well. Let's look at number 3. In this one, we're going to use the graph below to determine the equation of the circle in center radius form and in general form. So we need to locate the center, find the radius, and plug it in to our general form or the center radius form, and then evaluate or use algebra to write it in general form. To locate the center of the circle given a graph, what I do is I usually draw a line that goes kind of right through top to bottom and right through left to right. That point there is the center of the circle. Looks like the coordinates of that center would be over 5 units, up 3 units. So the center is 5, 3. Now to determine the radius based on the graph, I look at the center and then I count 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes to the right, 4 up, 4 left, and 4 down. So that gives me a radius of 4. Plug that into the general form, center radius form for a circle. And we get x minus 5 quantity squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared is equal to 4 squared, which is 16. Let's check our answer. This is parentheses. Let's get this over so I can see. X minus 5, close the parentheses, squared, plus, in parentheses, y minus 3, close the parentheses, squared, equals 4 squared. I'm going to write 16. Excellent. Part B is to write this equation in general form. When you're doing general form, you're using algebra to simplify and combine like terms. To write this in general form, what I like to do is the first here, x minus 5 quantity squared, I write it as x minus 5 times x minus 5, and I'm going to use FOIL to expand that and simplify, combine like terms. Y minus 3 quantity squared is y minus 3 times y minus 3, and let that equal 16. 4 squared is 16. When you use FOIL first, outer, inner, last, you get x squared minus 5x minus 5x plus 25 plus y squared minus 3y minus 3y plus 9 is equal to 16. I want to combine like terms. When I combine like terms, I'm going to write the first term x squared minus 5x minus 5x. I'm going to write that as minus 10x. You can write as plus 25 plus y squared minus 3y is minus 6y plus 9 is equal to 16. In general form, you list the squared terms first, then the linear terms, then the constants. So if we list the squared terms first, we have x squared. The next squared term is y squared. Then the linear terms, those are the ones with the variables without an exponent. Minus 10x, got that. Minus 6y. And then I'm going to take these constants and add them together. 25 plus 9, and that's going to give me 34 equals 16. Now in general form, we want a 0 on the right side of the equation. So we're going to have to subtract 16 from both sides to get x squared plus y squared minus 10x minus 6y 34 minus 16 is 18 plus 18 equals 0. That's our answer in general form. Simply by squaring, combining like terms, we get this equation. Okay, check your work. X squared plus y squared minus 10x minus 6y plus 18 equals 0. Check your answer. Fantastic.